Helsinki, July 16. Reuters, U.S. President Donald Trump blamed U.S. foolishness and stupidity for bad relations between Washington and Moscow, hours before he was to sit down to a one-on-one meeting with President Vladimir Putin. The Russian Foreign Ministry liked Trump's comments on Twitter, which denounced the investigation into Russian meddling in American elections as well as previous U.S. policy. We agree. https://t.co/708-7QWMJ3 MFA Russia @EMFA_Russia, July 16, 2018. The Kremlin said it did not expect much from the meeting but hoped it would be a first step to resolving a crisis in ties. Presidents Trump and Putin respect each other and they get along well. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said, "There is no clear agenda. It will be determined by the heads of state themselves as they go along." Critics and Trump's own advisors have urged Trump to use the summit to press Putin hard about malign activities, from annexing Ukraine's Crimea Peninsula to interfering in Western elections, to poisoning a spy in England, which Moscow denies. During a breakfast meeting with Finland's president before the meeting with Putin in the Finnish capital, Trump appeared upbeat. Asked what he would say to Putin, Trump said, "We'll do just fine, thank you." Trump and his wife Melania returned to their hotel after the breakfast and were expected to remain there for a few hours. Putin was due in Helsinki around lunchtime. The two leaders will meet one-on-one with only interpreters, followed by a working lunch accompanied by advisors. While Trump has been abroad since last week, the special prosecutor investigating allegations that Russia interfered to help him win the 2016 presidential election indicted 12 Russians on Friday for stealing Democratic Party documents. Which team do you play for? Trump's foes at home have been scathing about his apparent refusal to criticize Putin. His 2016 opponent Hillary Clinton tweeted, "Great World Cup." Question for President Trump as he meets Putin: do you know which team you play for? Hillary Clinton, @HillaryClinton, July 16, 2018. Russia denies interfering in the U.S. presidential election. The state RIA news agency quoted a Russian source as saying Moscow was ready to discuss, ready to undertake mutual obligations of non-intervention into internal matters. Trump has said he will raise the election meddling but does not expect to get anywhere. He has repeatedly noted that Putin denies it, while also saying that it is alleged to have taken place before he became president. For Putin, that the summit is even happening despite Russia's semi-pariah status among some Americans and U.S. allies is a geopolitical win. The countries are expected to discuss the prospect of extending a nuclear disarmament treaty, and the war in Syria, where Russian-backed forces of President Bashar al-Assad have advanced in the south of the country in recent weeks despite a ceasefire brokered by Moscow and Washington under Trump. The summit caps a trip abroad during which Trump sternly criticized NATO allies for failing to spend enough on their militaries and embarrassed British Prime Minister Theresa May by saying she refused to take his advice about how to negotiate Britain's exit from the EU. He referred to the European Union itself as a foe in trade, and repeatedly criticized it. In some of the strongest words yet, reflecting the unease of Washington's traditional allies, Germany's foreign minister said on Monday Europe could not rely on Trump. We can no longer completely rely on the White House, Heiko Maas told the Funk newspaper group. To maintain our partnership with the USA, we must readjust it. The first clear consequence can only be that we need to align ourselves even more closely in Europe. Trump has predicted he will be accused of being too soft on Putin no matter how the summit goes. "If I was given the great city of Moscow as retribution for all of the sins and evils committed by Russia, I would return to criticism that it wasn't good enough, that I should have gotten St. Petersburg in addition," he tweeted on Sunday. Related, Trump and Putin hold first summit talks in Finland. Putin knows how to win at his summit with Trump. U.S. allies worry Putin will sell Trump a bill of goods on Syria. Download. Do you have information you want to share with HuffPost? Here's how.